ABC, Barry Winslow logging on. It's been forever. How you guys doing? I got a pretty big vinyl haul here, obviously because I have a lot of catching up to do. I haven't been on in months. I guess the first thing I want to do is basically say why it's been so long. Last 3 months of my life have they've made me grow up. I've been in a pretty let me turn this down. I've been in a pretty low spot in regards to life in general. The last few months, it's not been the best summer for me. Separated with my girlfriend, and starting a new job in a new town, and just trying to find who I am, trying to figure out what I'm doing with my life and my career, and it's been stressful and trying to answer a lot of really deep questions, and I've just been in a point in my life where it's been difficult. You know, it hasn't been bad. It's been a great learning experience, but I've had a lot of time to really sit down and think about what I'm doing with my life and who I'm interacting with and what I'm doing and moving into the future. So it's been interesting. I've grown a lot as a person in the last 3 months. That's definitely one thing. But it's one of those things where, you know, that's kind of been the reasoning behind me not posting any videos. It's one thing where, you know, maybe if I did post videos, I would have had another community and another resource of people to help me out in the hard times that I've had. But anyways, I just wanted to come on and say that I am doing better. I am moving on, and I'm okay. I'm still smiling. I haven't burned any bridges, which is a really good thing, because burning bridges is never a good thing to do in life. But I'm on, and I guess outside of me and you know, life in general and work, I wanted to come on and show you guys some vinyl. That's what we're all here for. But I guess music in general, whether it's vinyl, CD, 8-track, cassette, 45, 78, 33, whatever it is that you guys do, we're all here for music. And so I wanted to show you guys some records that I've had, or I've gone out and collected and found, and I want to bring them to my collection here at Winslow's Wax Pad. It's been a while, so I got a pretty good stack here. I guess things that I've kind of come across in this last, I don't know, probably 2 or 3 months, probably 3 months. It's been weird. It's been a rough summer, but I'm better. I'm okay, and we're back on the vinyl community, and I missed you guys. So let's show you guys some vinyl. The first 2 records I'm going to show you are records that I got down in Lansing a while back. This was probably maybe 4 to 5 months ago. It was earlier on in the summer, and I went out and did some digging. And I actually showed you guys all of the records that I actually got from this certain haul, but I had mentioned that I didn't include 2 of them because they were at my uncle's house, and he was in the process of transferring them from vinyl on his record player into an actual file that he can move around his computer. He has a converting system. So these were the 2 that he was still working on converting. But he's got them all done, and they're going to be going into my collection here. So the first of which is Bruce Hornsby and the Range, Scenes from the South Side. It's Bruce Hornsby and the Range's 2nd album. I believe it's 1988. This happens to be my favorite Bruce Hornsby album. I like it better than his debut. If you don't know who Bruce Hornsby and the Range is, if you want some of the most beautiful music you've ever heard in the world, look him up. The guy's just fantastic. I think he's underrated and underappreciated as an artist. This guy put out some of the most amazing, I guess, alternative adult rock music that I think I've ever heard in my life. So, Bruce Hornsby and the Range, Scenes from the South Side, 1988. Good stuff. Here's the next one. This is one that my uncle was in search of, that he wanted to be a part of the collection, and I actually came across it for a pretty good price, and I had to pick it up. This is a staple in anyone's collection. Ray Charles, modern sounds in country and western music. Probably one of the greatest staples in Ray Charles' catalog. The epitome of cool. Ray Charles. You gotta have some Ray Charles in your collection. And I would say if you were to pick up any Ray Charles album, it would be this one and Ray Charles Modern Sounds in Country and Western Part 2. They're a two-part series. I don't have the second one. I just have the first one. I'm still on the search for the second one. But as a collection, this is some really, really incredible Ray Charles music. He does some classic country songs and spices them up and does them Ray Charles style. And just fantastic music here. So check that out, Ray Charles. These next albums I picked up, the next few here that I'm going to show you in this next group, I got in a small town called Onaway, Michigan, and I guess it's in the northeastern part of the Lower Peninsula, not far from where Alpena is, where I'm currently living and working. And I came across this guy. He was actually a vendor at the old Northern Michigan University record sales that I would go to about once or twice every semester. He happened to be a vendor, and he actually lives in Onaway, and he's got a storage unit, a building basically, an old garage, I guess you could call it, that's got heating and all this kind of stuff, and it's packed full of crates and boxes of records that are unorganized, they're dusty, they've been untouched. This is like real American picker record digging, like dusty finger record digging, all sitting on wooden pallets. They've not been organized, and I got in contact with the guy. It's about a 45-minute drive from here, and he said, why don't you come on out one of these weekends when you're free. This was earlier on in the summer, and I happened to make it there and did some digging. And this is one of those digs where it was like, I was astounded by the sheer volume. I'm talking like 40 to 50,000 albums, right? The sheer volume of records that I saw in this place was incredible. But it was almost record collecting that was kind of like, it was almost humbling and kind of irritating at the same time, because the stuff was kind of thrown together in an unorganized fashion. There was boxes on top of boxes on top of boxes of records, so it was really physical digging, and it kind of required me to get, not required me, but it almost got me a little bit upset, because I couldn't get to the records how I wanted to. I couldn't really get in and flip through and see what was there, because you know when it comes to digging that the good stuff kind of lies within. You got to kind of feed through all the stuff to find that really good stuff that's stuck in there that no one's pulled out yet. And just the organizational fashion of this place, I couldn't get in and dig how I wanted to. But in knowing that, I actually did get a hold of some stuff that I thought was really cool. Philip Lynott, lead singer of Thin Lizzy, who Live and Dangerous is playing in the background. I'll turn it up a little bit. I have a problem with volume and not knowing what's loud and not loud. But Philip Lynott, Soho and Soho. After Thin Lizzy broke up, Lynott did a solo album, Solo and Soho. It's okay. It's not Lizzy, but I mean it's Phil Lynott nonetheless. There's some good material on here. There is some filler material. I know he was heavy into drug use at this time. He had a darker sound. Wasn't quite that Lizzy sound that you would expect. A little bit more 80s influence here, but still good music nonetheless. It's still Lynott. So Solo and Soho. Being a Michigander, I was happy to find some Mitch Ryder and the Detroit Wheels, some real original Michigan rock and roll here. If you don't know, if you listen to Bob Seger, if you listen to Grand Funk, if you listen to all these great Michigan-based artists, and you've never heard the name Mitch Ryder, go out and do some research. Mitch Ryder and the Detroit Wheels. Socket Tooney is this album. Very, very great, almost a pinnacle album of his. Great band. This is some like mid to late 60s rock and roll. Some stuff here here that you would be hearing is kind of almost like a Michigan rock version of the Yardbirds. So that vintage rock and roll sound. A little bit of doo-wop, but I would say like a harder blues bass, early 60s blues, Detroit blues, slash doo-wop rock and roll kind of sound. Great music here. A later release of Mitch Ryder. I'm not sure if this is with the Detroit Wheels or not. I don't think it is. It's just entitled Mitch Ryder. This is some later work, 70s work, that I actually prefer over the vintage sounding Mitch Ryder Detroit Wheels sound. This one here is a great release of his. This one's called Mitch Ryder, How I Spent My Vacation. Fantastic album here. Some really interesting dark chord changes, some unusual flats and sharps that are used here. Some of the song structures are a little bit unique, but just good quality Michigan rock and roll. Mitch Ryder, How I Spent My Vacation. Great album. Going right along with that Michigan rock and roll trend is Grand Funk. I didn't have very much Grand Funk in my collection, if you can believe it or not. But Grand Funk live album, 2 LP. This is just one of those staples for Grand Funk Railroad. If you're going to be getting into Grand Funk, this is probably the first album you should buy. Just live album, and it's just kick-ass, great bass playing, great vocals, great rock and roll guitar. It's just Grand Funk at their peak. Live album, awesome live album. I would put this up there with one of the greatest live albums ever recorded. I can stand up to Thin Lizzy's Live and Dangerous. Fantastic live album here. Grand Funk live album. Here's a studio release of theirs that I picked up. I honestly think it's probably behind Grand Funk's second album, which has got the red cover on it, with the bass player there on the front. I don't have it. I'm looking for it. I can't find it still. But I would say this is probably my second favorite actual release of theirs. Grand Funk, Closer to Home. Great Grand Funk Railroad music right here. Earlier, third album, that early, awesome, bass-heavy, squealing guitar, Grand Funk, the vocals, the harmonious rock vocals that you get. Grand Funk at their peak. Definitely some good stuff here. Closer to Home, Grand Funk Railroad. Still in that same place out in Onaway. Me being a Yes freak, and I'm officially addicted to Yes now. I had to get the Steve Howe, the guitarist for Yes, actually the second guitarist for Yes, and who was with them and is still with them today for the longest period of time. Steve Howe, if you don't know him, look him up. Guitarist for Yes. This is his solo album entitled Beginnings. Stellar music here. If you like Yes, if you're getting into Genesis, if you like Jethro Tull, if you like, obviously Yes themselves, really good progressive rock music here. It's Steve Howe just jamming out on the guitar. Fantastic work. Beginnings by Steve Howe. Going right along with Yes and band members there. Chris Squire, the bass player. I got his solo release here. Fish Out of Water. It's entitled. Chris Squire, the bass player for Yes. I actually prefer this album over Steve Howe's Beginnings. The Fish, obviously the nickname of Chris Squire, the bassist for Yes. Really great work here. If you like Yes, if you like bass, if you like prog, pick it up. It's exceptional music. Chris Squire, Fish Out of Water. And then just some country, a little bit of country music here that I do like. Some of that early 90s vintage country music. Alan Jackson's Don't Rock the Jukebox. You know, nothing fancy here. Just your solid Alan Jackson. Along the same line here, Vince Gill, Pocket Full of Gold. I love this vintage country. I'm not big on today's country. I don't consider that country music. I don't know, that's just me. But Vince Gill, Pocket Full of Gold, another great album. Love Vince Gill. Love his voice. He's got a beautiful tenor voice. This one here is Robert Cray, Strong Persuader. An early release of Robert Cray kind of broke him, and actually, brought a lot of fame to Robert Cray. Great album. So, Strong Persuader, Robert Cray. If you like blues, if you like Muddy Waters, if you like Buddy Guy, Muddy Waters, B.B. King, and these are major staples here in blues music that I'm pulling out. But exceptional blues guitarist. I'd be surprised that if you listen to blues, if you didn't know his name, Robert Cray, or Robert Cray Band. Excellent. So, Strong Persuader. Really excited about this release. This one here is a German pressing import. This is entitled Savoy Brown. Obviously Savoy Brown here. It's called Just Live. It's an import from Germany. It's on white vinyl, which is really cool. I'll pull it out of the sleeve here. I was really stoked when I found this. I don't know much about the album. I don't know what the value is. I've never seen it around. That's why I picked it up. But there it is. There's the white vinyl. I'll show you this label too. This is a German press. And I don't know a whole lot about it. But there's the label. Impact, it says. But Savoy Brown, Just Live. So, I'm a huge Savoy Brown freak. I love early British blues. John Mayall, Blues Breakers, Savoy Brown, 38 Special, all that kind of stuff. Foghat, all that kind of stuff. Really good stuff. But Savoy Brown with their early lineup, their second lineup that actually got really big, in what my opinion would be as their best lineup, is on this. This was recorded live in 1972. Good album. So that was that stop. This next album is actually my dad found at a garage sale at my cottage. This is a local artist from Michigan who is really big in playing dulcimer. There's something that's called the Dulcimer Fest, and it is one weekend every summer near my cottage at the fairgrounds. And there's a lot of people that set up and play bluegrass and old folk music, with a heavy emphasis on the dulcimer, the instrument, the dulcimer itself. This is an individual from northern Michigan. His name is Wes Linnenkugel. There's the name right there. And this one's called Interprets Hammered Dulcimer. Just a fantastic dulcimer player. Really known for his speed and his aggression on the dulcimer. And then he's also known from going that kind of route into just a beautiful bluegrass tune. Wes Linnenkugel interprets Hammered Dulcimer. So I've listened to it. It sounds pretty good. So I'm going to flip this over. And this next batch of vinyl is a batch of vinyl that I found. I actually got at a. It's kind of like a. Not sure what you would call it. It's like an auction place. People come in and bid on different things, whether it's outdoor art, or whether it's paper plates, or whether it's vinyl records. People come in and they bid. It's an auctioneering place just down the street, and they had boxes and boxes of vinyl records in the back that no one had touched, and they don't really know what they're going to be doing with them. So the process of buying them was unique because it was kind of in an auctioneering type setting, which is something that I'm usually just accustomed to going to an antique shop or a garage sale. or a second-hand store. So kind of going through the auctioning process was unique. But I did pick up some good records there. One album that I didn't have, I'm really glad I picked up, The Firm. Obviously Jimmy Page and Paul Rodgers. Really, really good stuff here. I didn't have this record. It's an album that I've always loved, I've always listened to, I've always known about. Found it for a really good price and picked it up. Another Spooky Tooth album. I recently got into Spooky Tooth a little while back. This is, I don't know, I think this is their debut. I know that their debut is just entitled Spooky Tooth, and it's got a different cover art than this itself. I think this is the American pressing, and the British pressing or the European pressing does not have this title or cover art. But this one is called Tobacco Road by Spooky Tooth. Really, really good album. Spooky Tooth is great. They're a great rock and roll band. Similar in sound. I would almost put them similar to like a UK's version of Edgar Winter's White Trash. So a really good gospel-based rock and roll band. Really good stuff. So Spooky Tooth, Tobacco Road. Really excited about this next one. This one here is ZZ Top's first album, their very first debut album. And I was really excited when I got this home that this is an original first pressing. It's on London, so I'm excited about that. I kind of dug into my Goldmine grading and pricing guide, and I found out that this is on the London label. So excited about that there. It's in great condition, as you can see. So great album. Before ZZ Top was really, you know, everyone knew about them and they were doing their thing before, way long before, you know, Dark Sunglasses and all those great songs that they did so much. Or Cheap Sunglasses, sorry. So early debut album there by ZZ Top. ZZ Top's first album. And then here's another one here. Robert Plant, obviously lead singer of Led Zeppelin, some solo material, Shaken and Stirred, which includes the single Little by Little, still in the shrink. So excited to have that. I've actually not listened to this yet. I don't know much about it in regards to how it would compare to Led Zeppelin. It says here it was released in '85, so I'm sure it's got a pretty heavy 80s influence to it. But Robert Plant, can't really go wrong with Robert Plant, so I figured I'd give it a try. Robert Plant, Shaken and Stirred. And then these next batch of albums I got recently at an antique store downtown here in Alpena. Don't have to say much about that one. Led Zeppelin's also the fourth album, Led Zeppelin 4, whatever you want to call it. I actually had a copy of this. The copy I have is terribly warped and terribly scratched. It hardly plays. Disappointing. So I've got a clean copy of what many consider to be the greatest rock and roll album of all time. So can't beat that. So it's not in perfect condition. There's a little bit of cover damage, but the vinyl's pretty clean. And I picked it up for $4. So can't beat that. An album here that Vance, VK, you actually kind of got me introduced to this artist. This was the first album that I have of theirs. And it's one that when I found it, was one of those where I was like, huh, and my heart sank a little bit, and I had to pick it up and check it out, and definitely bought it. So Robin Trower, Bridge of Sighs. Very excited to have this. Pretty heavy on the cover damage, but the vinyl is very clean. I cleaned it up, washed it, and plays great. Just a few minor skips and scratches. So I'm on the lookout for more early Robin Trower. If you don't know who Robin Trower is, Robin Trower was the guitarist for Procol Harum. Went on to form Robin Trower, which is a band, not just Robin Trower himself. Excellent rock and roll, blues, heavy rock and roll, heavy guitar. Really good stuff. It's kind of got like a drawn out, really drug out, really heavy uh, effects base. Lots of heavy effects on the guitar there. Really bluesy, murky, dark rock and roll blues. Robin Trower, if you don't know him, look him up. And I would say for the first album, Bridge of Sighs is a great place to start. I'm really impressed with this album. More from the same store. Obviously, still adding on to my Led Zeppelin collection. Presence, not their greatest album in the world, but I would consider this to be like their last great album. It's Led Zeppelin, baby. Gotta love Zepp. And then obviously, In Through the Outdoor. I didn't have this album, but happy to find a copy of it. Picked it up. It doesn't have the paper bag sleeve. That's missing. And then the other little secret, someone had gone through with their watercolors and painted on the already painted on the inner sleeve. So kind of bummed about that, but clean it up. Sounds good. Plays great. In Through the Outdoor. And then finally, this is the last album in the stack. Got this at an antique store, my original Honey Hole up in Marquette. I went up there to see some buddies of mine, and this is a band that I'm really getting into. Really like their stuff, really like their music, and happy to find the first album that I have there is in my collection, and that is Free. This is Fire and Water, and obviously this has got the great, exceptional track, All Right Now. Just classic rock and roll album. I'm still looking for their first album, Tons of Sobs, and their second album, self-entitled Free. But those are going to be hard to come by. Happy to have their third album, Fire and Water, and this album kicks ass. If you don't have any Free in your collection, do some research, look them up, check them out. So there's my my vinyl update. It's been a half hour now of me gambling and talking about records. Talk to you a little bit about where I've been and what I've been going through. All is well. Listening to music. I got my vinyl record dividers, A through Z. I've got those completed, and adding on to the collection here at Winslow's Wax Pad. So hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Sorry it's been ages since I've been on, but I miss you guys. I haven't forgotten about you guys. It's one thing that I've learned and is always true is that the VC is always there. I will always come back to it. I will always have my friends in it. I will always be a proud member of the vinyl community. Ever since day one that I've made my account, I've had nothing but great experiences and met great people here in the vinyl community. So happy to give you guys an update here from Winslow's Wax Pad. That's all for now, and I'll continue to dig and look for albums and spin hot wax. So peace guys, and thanks for subscribing and checking in. Alright, take care. Bye.